Alright, so, hey guys, I'm back from E3. I don't know if you even realized I went to E3, but I did. It was my first time there, and it was a pretty cool experience, so I'm glad that I went. I actually got the ticket because I was part of Nintendo's, I think it's called the Nintendo Creators Program or something like that. It's the thing that they have where you can, like, share ad revenue. Basically, Nintendo was dumb because they take ad revenue from you on YouTube if they detect that you uploaded a video of one of their games. But you can submit it to their program, and you get a portion of the ad revenue back. So I'm part of that because, you know, a little bit's better than nothing, I guess. And they gave out some amount of tickets through that to people that are in that, and I replied fast enough, so I got one. So that's how I got to E3. And, so yeah, that's how it is. Welcome, Retroid. Glad to see you're here. So anyway, yeah, let's get started here with telling the tale of what it was like at E3. So anyway, this is just my static image of clouds. Yeah, on the plane. All right, that's not exciting. But okay, so before I even got to E3, I was able to meet at the airport. On the right here, the Mexican runner, and on the left is Mr. Blarney, and me in the middle, if you didn't realize. And both of those two were in Nintendo World Championships on the day before, so that was the Sunday, and I came in on Monday. So we were actually able to hang out. I know I watch TMR stream quite a bit. He does the NES Mania Challenge, trying to beat every NES game. And he's a pretty cool guy, so I finally met him in person. I guess that there's a better picture here. Look, I'm actually smiling here. But yeah, so that was really cool to actually meet him. And I also gave him a couple games for his collection, because he's trying to collect all of the NES games. I just gave him a couple worthless games that I didn't want, that I never was going to play. But I also got something from him, sort of. I brought, for him to sign, an NES game. This is the game that I chose for him to play for NES Mania, Air Fortress. The guy on the right does the NES Mania Challenge. That's the Mexican runner. I'll write it out in the chat for you. The Mexican runner. So, the way it works is after he finishes a game, there's a raffle in the chat, and whoever wins the raffle gets to choose what he plays next. And so when I won, I picked Air Fortress for him to play. So I had him sign my Air Fortress cart. So now I have Air Fortress signed by the Mexican runner. So that was my first souvenir. I also got Mr. Blarney's autograph, by the way. But, yeah, I didn't even know he was going to be there until I got there. So yeah, we pretty much just talked about Nintendo World Championships a bit. I'm trying to think of what all they had to say about it. I mean, pretty much everyone agreed that it wasn't the best test of skill because of how some of the games were that they had to play. There were a lot of random things involved, but they also did agree that the person who won did deserve to win, and they were pretty good. Both of these guys were eliminated in the first set of eliminations. I know TMR especially. He hadn't played a Wii U until like the day before, and all of the games were played on Wii U. Even the old classic games were played on Wii U Virtual Console. So he had some issues with getting used to that. I mean, Splatoon, it was like he had played it like one day at a time, and that was the first game of the tournament. It also sounded like they didn't really have much ability to communicate with each other with that. Like with Splatoon, they didn't even realize which teams they were on, and so they couldn't really plan very well for what weapons to use or what strategies to use. Like they just kind of went for it, and whatever happened, happened. So it was a bit of a bummer, but it sounded like it was still pretty hype. I know TMR said that his favorite part of the whole event was just being able to hang out with all the other people that were participating. But yeah, that's pretty much how it was. Let's see if we got any other. There's the cart that I just showed you that he signed for me. But yeah, I've been watching him for quite a while, so it was cool to be able to finally meet him in person. So yeah, that was a long plane ride. I went from Baltimore to Let's see, I think I transferred in Texas, somewhere in Texas, and then I finally arrived in LA. And I didn't sleep at all for well over 24 hours. And so I was pretty exhausted. And I pretty much had Monday to rest, but I still didn't get much sleep. So the actual event was starting on Tuesday. There were the press conferences the day before and Monday morning, Tuesday morning, I guess. But I don't know if I was actually able to go to those. So I didn't go to those. But I would have been too tired anyway. But Tuesday morning, I went here for the badge pickup, which was not really anything super special. Just brought my printed out thing and was like, hey, I'm here for my badge. And let's see, I have my badge. We got it. We got the badge right here. Show and tell. It's got this nice Mario-themed lanyard. And my name. On the bottom it says Expo Pro, which I think we decided meant promotional. Because most people had like the name of their company there. And even though I put down what they call games, they still put Expo Pro. So yeah, there's that, and there's this little slide-in thing for a free t-shirt from Persona 4 Dancing All Night. Yep, so this is my pass. It actually had some little thing that glowed under blacklight. So they had like black lights over the entranceways to all the main areas. So they would check to see if your badge was legit. The first day there was some guy that was actually using his twin brother's pass. Like he made a copy or something, so I don't know if he ever get caught. Because the second day they were checking IDs, so I don't know, he might have gotten caught. But yeah, that's the pass. So let's see, I got there pretty early. I got there like 8 in the morning, and the show floors didn't even open until noon, I think, if I remember right. But here's the main view of like the entrance, one of the entrances. This place is huge, actually. This is just one of the entrances. I mean, you can see there's the Street Fighter 5 thing, there's Fallout 4 ad over there, all kinds of things. Yeah, it was pretty neat. So let's see. Yeah, let's go inside. Inside, this is the Los Angeles Convention Center, which is where they hold E3. And so this is the main lobby area, I guess you could say, which had, there's the signs pointing where you go and all that stuff. But they had really neat, big displays set up. Like, in the middle here, you can see the Mad Max display with, like, the cool Mad Max car. I think if we go to the next picture, yeah, they have this really, really cool, giant Dark Souls 3 display. There it is. Check that out. That, I think, is pretty cool. I wanted to just steal that and stick it in the overhead bin on the way back, but I don't think it would have fit. But yeah, that was pretty cool. They had this Halo display. Those are not real people. That's just the display. Yeah. Okay, so, besides that, they also had this daily magazine thing that you could get, which had basically news about all the different games that were on display, but I didn't even pay attention to that. Let me see, I think I have... Yeah, I got one from each day. So we got day 1. They're basically the same, though. Day 2. Day 3. The important thing in these is, as I have the picture here, the map, because that way you know where the different booths are set up. And for the average Joe that is going to E3, you have 2 main halls that you have to worry about. So the one that I have a picture here is the West Hall, which is the one I went to first. That has, as you can see, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and then some other smaller things like Atlas. Oculus was pretty big, though. Different stuff like that. So you can see how that... You can basically see how it's laid out and plan your route ahead of time. But that was just one hall, and I don't know, it doesn't look like it's that big, but it's huge. Like, that one hall is really big. So there's that, but then there's also the South Hall, which I didn't take a picture of, but... And you probably can't see this very clearly, but South Hall is also huge. South Hall had like more third-party stuff, like let's see, EA, Square Enix, Disney, Capcom, Activision, Ubisoft, Bethesda, all kinds of stuff like that. Smaller things like Natsume had a tiny booth set up, but you could get a plushie there. Did I say Konami? Twitch had a thing. Yeah, so various things like that. And then there are also like separate halls for private rooms, like meetings with the press and whatnot. So there's maps of that too. There's more maps, but I didn't actually go to anything in those areas. So that's how that works. Let's see what's next. Alright, yeah, Street Passes. Street Passes are a big deal at E3. Like, holy crap. It's a pain that you can only get 10 at a time because they're just constant Street Passes. I got all the pink pieces for collecting the puzzle pieces, like, really fast, and I filled out so many of the puzzles. It's great. So many. So, I had quite a bit of time to kill, because I got there early for my badge, and it didn't take that long. But luckily, Twitch had a little booth set up here with a stream of the Nintendo, whatever they called it. I don't remember what Nintendo called it, but Nintendo's, instead of doing a press conference, they just did a stream. And so Twitch had it playing here, so I just stood there and watched it with a couple other people. It was kind of underwhelming though. Nintendo's showing this year was like pretty lame. It feels like they don't really care about E3 anymore. They're just gonna release, they're gonna announce games whenever they feel like it, and they don't really care about E3. Just like whatever they happen to have out, that's what they'll show. But yeah, Star Fox, they did announce, well, they showed Star Fox, and I played it, so yeah. So after that, let's see, I guess I just walked. I walked over to the West Hall. This is outside of the West Hall, and this is still pretty early, so this crowd here that's gathering, they're still like a couple hours early before the doors open to go to the show floor. So everybody just hangs out here. They had, I think I took a picture. Yeah, they had like the old press conferences, like Microsoft's press conference and the other ones. They had those playing, so you could watch those while you wait. But everybody was pretty much just hanging out, talking, playing DS, that kind of thing. Planning what they were going to rush into and try to get to first. So my plan for the first day, I was going to rush Star Fox, and that's what I did. I was pretty successful, but we'll get to that in a sec. While I waited though, Rooster Teeth. I've heard of Rooster Teeth, but I don't actually know what Rooster Teeth is all about. I don't know if I met them or not, or anything about Rooster Teeth. I just have heard the name. But these guys you might recognize. This is the Game Explain group, which I ran into waiting outside West Hall, and they were doing some sort of self-interviews while they were waiting, and in between that I got to take a selfie, and I actually gave them my business card and resume because they didn't have anybody that could speak Japanese really, except for one guy's wife. So I sort of applied for a job with them for translating Japanese. I don't know if it'll pan out. They did email me on Friday asking the meaning of a word in the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, but that's pretty much it. Achievement Hunter / Rooster Teeth. Yeah, I guess I don't know them, but I've heard of them, I think. So anyway, yeah, Game Explain. This was when it was starting to get more crowded to go into West Hall. This is like closer to when it was about to open. And I rushed it. So, Nintendo had this really, really big Star Fox Zero spot set up. And this is what it was. And the first day they had it like, you were supposed to play... I didn't realize this, but they had... Yeah, I sort of know Japanese. I majored in Japanese, and I teach Japanese lessons, so yeah. And I've done some translations. I did a translation guide for Itadaki Street 2 for Super Nintendo. And I translated a Pokemon manga just for somebody on the internet. It's not official, but yep. So yeah, I rushed Star Fox, and like I was saying, I didn't know that they had a separate Star Fox spot set up also that was less extravagant than this one. But the way they had it was you were supposed to do that one first, and then you would get this patch, and then you could do this one, and you would get a pin. But I didn't know that, and they took that rule away like the second day because it wasn't working out. But, so I got the pin first. I got to be like third in line. Where did I put the pin? I just had it a second ago. The pin is really nice. You got this nice metal pin. It's shiny. It's got the Star Fox icon on it. Yeah. So I got that. The Star Fox demo had 3 different levels on it. One of them was just a training stage, but then there was Corneria, which had a mix of... It was basically like the Star Fox 64 Corneria to start with, like a lot of the same enemies, a lot of the same everything, but it was a little bit different. And then, so you fly through that on rail shooter style, and then there's like a boss sort of battle in free range mode at the end, which was pretty cool. That was totally different from the original Star Fox or Star Fox 64. But that was pretty cool because the way it works with Star Fox Zero, it takes a bit of getting used to, but you can aim with the gamepad, like moving it around, and you can aim separately from where you're flying. So, like, basically you can fly straight ahead and aim like down or to the sides or up or whatever, and it's kind of OP, but they actually had the enemies designed for it. So on the Corneria level, they had these enemies that would crawl along the ground, and you would have to like fly over and aim down at them and shoot them from above. So it was pretty cool. Let's see, if you ever get the chance, you can translate Scooter Plus. Yeah, sure, if it's just the menus, I could probably do that pretty easily. Scooter Plus. I could tell you that Scooter means to make. So, it's probably a game about making things. But yeah, you'll have to remind me though, later. Maybe send me some screenshots that you want translated. Let's see. Also about Star Fox, the graphics look alright to start. Like, at a glance, the graphics look alright, but they're not really up to standards of modern games in general. Like, I don't know. They're alright. But the game's fun, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Ah, it's an RPG Maker. Nice. Okay. Cool. I didn't even know that existed. That's cool. I don't know what else to say about Star Fox. Oh, you can transform into like this walker thing whenever you want. And the boss of the Corneria level, you could actually beat in 2 different ways. It's like this hover ship kind of thing. Like a big UFO looking thing. And so you can either beat it by shooting all of these like cannons on it and it'll explode, or you can shoot just part of it and like a chunk falls down and it leaves this gap open on the inside of it, and you can fly in and transform into the walker like inside of the mothership, walk in and then blow up the core from inside. And in the demo it didn't really seem to make any difference which way you did it, but it's cool that you could do it 2 different ways, and maybe it'll have branching paths like in 64 version, Star Fox 64. I don't know, but it was pretty cool. There's also hidden medals like in Star Fox Assault. Like one of the medals, the little crawly guys that I said you had to hit from above, they come out of these boxes, and if you turn into a walker and go into one of the boxes, there's a hidden medal. So I know there's at least one medal. And so yeah, that's pretty cool. The other demo level was just a space battle where you fought Pigma and a bunch of just generic bad guys. I think that was pretty much it. That was a pretty straightforward level. Oh, another nice thing. You can hold ZL when you're flying, or which is pretty much all the time, and ZL will like swivel the camera around and show you what your target is. So like if you're fighting Pigma, you can hold ZL and it'll show you where Pigma is. It'll point the camera towards Pigma, so you don't have to like try to figure out what the map means. And in the Corneria one, when you're protecting this tower, it'll just point the camera at the tower, which can actually help you sort of fly around the tower while shooting, like aiming your shots with the gamepad, like tilting the gamepad around. So you don't have to like pay attention so much to where you're flying, you can just pay attention to where you're shooting. But anyway, yeah, it seems like it'll be really fun. It definitely seems like it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, yeah, that's Star Fox. I don't think I have the patch. I was gonna give the patch to my friend because he helped pay my way to get there. Anyway, let's see what else. This is more of the Nintendo area. This is taken from the Star Fox line, so that Star Fox setup that I just had on screen, that was to the right. Like, if you turn to the right, that's what that was. If you turn to the left, a bunch of other games. So, on the left were the, like, further left, there were more Star Fox demos. There was Yoshi's Woolly World. There was Zelda Triforce Heroes. Mario Tennis, whatever they call it, Ultra Smash or something. Mario Maker, the Metroid Federation Force Blast Ball. What else? They actually had one booth of Smash Brothers for Wii U set up. Oh, I'll get to PlayStation. I did PlayStation also. Let's see. What else? I think that was most of what Nintendo had. I have a blog post about it also where I wrote down details about all of it. Oh, they had the Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. There's that also. I didn't actually play that one though. Yeah, I'm probably going to play after this also. So let's see. This is... Where even is this? This might be also part of... Oh, this is just like at the corner between areas, but yeah, you can see Atlas sort of game spot. This is Atlas's spot. They had some games. It wasn't quite as popular as like the major places, but it was somewhat popular, especially since they were giving away t-shirts and these huge bags. Let me get this bag out. Let me show you how huge this bag is. So you could stand in line and get this giant Persona 5 bag. It's like way too big. It's like a backpack, actually. It's enormous. Absolutely enormous. I don't think I'm ever going to use it. Yeah, my throat's pretty much better. I'm a little bit congested still, but I'm basically better. I'm trying not to cough. But yeah, I got that huge Persona 5 bag, so that's what most people were going to Atlas's spot for. That and this shirt. This shirt here, this Persona 4 Dancing All Night t-shirt. But to get the shirt, you actually had to dance on stage. And I didn't do that on the first day, but I did do it. Let me see, I should... I don't know if I can pull up the video super fast, but I'll have to play the video at the end or something, because the video is pretty great. It was pretty awkward, me dancing on stage with some sexy lady. But, yeah, the line was pretty long the first day, so I just came back on the last day, and it was super short. These are more Atlas things, pretty much. I didn't actually play many of these. Yeah, I suppose I'm fairly lucky. I had to take a picture with this sign to get the giant bag. Like, oh, I had to take a picture. What a troublesome thing. Here's GameSpot. They just have their... Like, all of these websites just have their discussion areas set up, like, in plain view of everything. Oh, is that the video? Is that the video of me dancing? The thing is, I'm going to have to capture it. Let me see. Let me see how I'm going to do this. Yeah, open URL. There it is. Alright. Thanks. Alright, let's capture the window. Let's do this. It'll be worth it. Ah, screw it. We'll just leave it like this. She just didn't really know what to do whenever I pulled the wacky waving inflatable arm flowing tube mad move out there. And then I tried copying her, but it was just weird. And then we seemed to be done, so I left. Yep, got my shirt and got out of there. So yeah, that's pretty much how that went. Uh, yeah. So yeah, that's how I got a shirt. Oh yeah, people dressed up. Some people did. Most people were actually like professionally dressed. I mean, this is like a professional event. Like, people don't go here just for fun. They go here because it's their job. Like, they have gaming jobs, and they're going to check out what's the hip thing going on and all that sort of thing. But some people were cosplaying. Not very many people, but a couple people. This is another view of Nintendo's booth from a different angle. And this is another view from outside. So, the entrance there is where the Black Ops sign was. And to get to the West Hall, I had to go, like, through that long thing on the right side there. Like, that was a big, long hallway that connected to the West Hall. The South Hall was just straight through the main entrance. So I think this is on the second day now. Second day. I'll talk about the games more in detail afterwards, I guess. Because I'll have to check my blog or something to see, even remember what games I played. But I'll go into the games in detail. But second day, since I pretty much exclusively hit up West Hall on the first day. Second day, I targeted South Hall. My goal was... This is not my goal, actually. This was just something else. My goal was to play Star Wars Battlefront, but I totally missed the entrance to the demo, so by the time I found it, it was going to be like 3 hours wait. Yeah, sorry, man. Yeah, I didn't try Black Ops 3. All those big games had like super long waits, and I wasn't really particularly interested in them anyway, so I went for the smaller games. But I was interested in Battlefront. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play it because there was a super long wait, and then I found out they had a separate demo for it outside, like for anybody, like the public could have played it, but I sort of found out about it too late, and then I was bad at managing time, and it just didn't work out, so I'll have to play it when it comes out, I guess. So instead I took a picture of the Incredible Hulk made out of Legos, which is pretty cool, I guess. And these giant headphones. And Skylanders. So I have never actually played Skylanders before. I don't know anything about it, except that you buy toys, and it's like on-disc DLC to the max because you scan in toys. At least that's the impression I got. I don't know. But apparently Donkey Kong and Bowser are going to be in the Wii U version of it, the next one. Or Superchargers, I think it is. Basically, I just went to this demo because you get a free toy, a free like E3 exclusive Skylanders thing, which I am selling on eBay for the bucks, the big bucks. That's why I went to this demo. But actually, the game isn't half bad, and I got this great picture in this giant Skylanders vehicle. But yeah, the game seems pretty alright. I mean, it's just like standard kind of beat-em-up thing, I guess. I don't know, I didn't play it for that long. You can drive vehicles around in this one, which seemed pretty fun. The graphics are really nice. I played the PS4 version. But, yeah, I don't know. Giant headphones, though, these don't seem very convenient to anybody. But I wanted to sit there and take a picture. Fallout 4, that had a bunch of things. Strangely enough, though, I'm sure there was a playable demo somewhere, but for all the walking around I did, like, all I saw was just, like, display things. Like, there's this, hello? Oh, shoot. Is this Fallout 4? I don't even know what game this is for, but I don't know, I just saw all these displays, I couldn't even find the demo. But that's another game, it's like, the demo, the line was going to be super long. So I pretty much just stuck to the short lines and tried to get as much as I could. And I also was really trying to focus on virtual reality stuff once I discovered that I could play that, because I figured with virtual reality I'm going to have less chance to play that outside of E3, and with all these games, all I'm going to have to do is wait a few months and I'll be able to play them in person, so it's not that big of a deal if I get to play them. But with VR, like, I really wanted to try VR, and I did. I tried a few different virtual reality stuff, so That's what a lot of my time was dedicated to. It was a lot of time management with going to E3, like which demos you're going to stay in a line for, because a lot of the lines take a really long time. So you have to plan out your days. Even though you do have a lot of time to work with, because each day was like... I think the first day was 12 to 6, the second day was maybe 10 to 6, and then it was 10 to 5, I think. So it's a pretty long day, and it's actually really tiring going to E3. I mean, I didn't get enough sleep going, like, on my travel there. But it's really tiring, because you spend a lot of time standing up, walking around, waiting in line, especially waiting in line. And it's just, like, you just want to sit down. And I did sit down a lot of times just waiting in line. I just sit on the floor, because it was tiring. And you don't want to leave and eat either, so you have to, like, bring snacks with you or something, and water, and it's really tiring. And then you finally get back and you're like, oh, now I gotta upload videos and write about it. But I didn't write about it, I just uploaded videos. Battlecry, I don't even know what this game is. I just took a picture. There's Natsume's booth, which I took a picture because they had the giant Harvest Moon cow up there. They had a cow. Plays the Jeopardy theme, why? Is that my countdown music, or what? Relics of the Gods, I don't even know what that was either, but they had people dressed up. So, okay. This wasn't actually the first virtual reality thing I tried, but this was something. Unfortunately, I didn't get to try the cool Oculus Rift demos that they had, like, I forget what the big one was that they had that I wanted to try, but anyway, I didn't get to try it, because the line was super long, and you actually had to reserve, like, both Oculus and Morpheus. You were supposed to download these apps to register for certain time slots to try them out, but all the time slots filled up, like, immediately, so there was no way to do that. And so you had to wait in line otherwise, and the lines were super long. So I was gonna rush Oculus Rift the third day, but then I ended up going to HoloLens instead, because it seemed like HoloLens was harder to get into. So I was going to try HoloLens. If I couldn't get into that, I would do Oculus Rift. But I got into HoloLens. That took 4.5 hours of waiting to get into. So I didn't end up having time for Oculus. But I did have time for this, which was on Oculus. So this, I have another picture. People were enjoying this thing. Man, look at this guy. He's having so much fun. So this thing had the chair, like, tilted and stuff, just a little bit. Like, it just tilted a little bit to the side, like, not very much at all. There's also a fan that blowed air at you, but, like, that's not that amazing. But basically what this was... Do I have another? This guy's just like, oh, look at that. So, yeah, this... Basically, you're sitting in, like, this dark room, like, in the VR thing. You're sitting in this dark room, and it slowly lights up different parts at a time. And revealing the rabbits, and the rabbits are like smacking on things, and you're on like this sled thing, and the rabbits knock you down, and you're like, all of a sudden you're careening down this snowy mountain, super fast, bumping into things, spinning around. It's madness. And that's pretty much the gist of it. But it was really actually convincing. Like, even though the chair only does this. I actually got the same sensation as being on a roller coaster at a lot of points, like going down the really steep hills, or like there's one part where you're teetering over the edge of a cliff and then you fall off, and like that, it felt like I was on a roller coaster. I got that feeling in my chest, like, oh shoot, I'm going down a drop, and yeah, it was actually really intense, really cool. And of course you could look around anywhere the whole time and see the different stuff going on. So that was pretty neat. I'm glad I did it. Let's see what else. Mega Man. Yep. They had their Mega Man collection thing, or whatever, their retro Mega Man collection, which is super not hype because it's not even as good as their previous Mega Man collections, so don't even know what to say about that. This is where Twitch had their thing set up. This is what it looks like for the common man. Let's see, I could have sworn I just hit to the next image here. Let's go. Battlefront had a pretty cool spot set up. They had this, like, crashed, what is it? What is it called? I don't know if I have a better thing. You know, the fighter thing here. I don't know what is that called? They're the fighters they use in the Battle of Hoth. I don't know. And then they had a speeder bike that you could get on and take pictures with. So that was pretty cool. I had to settle for that after I missed the entrance to the demo line. Giant life-size Battletoad. That's pretty cool. This was for Rare's, what is it called? Rare... I might have gotten another picture of it somewhere. I don't know. The Rare Retro Classics, whatever it's called, they have like a set, like a collection of 30 Rare classic games coming out for Xbox One. And, I mean, it's just a collection of games, but they're pretty good games. I mean, it's Rare. Like, Rare has good games. So one of them is Battletoads. With the old games, there's an option where you can rewind, like, 5 seconds or something. So if you mess up, you can rewind, which actually makes some of these games beatable, maybe. I mean, I know people can beat Battletoads, but dang, it's hard for the average person. Mostly because of the limited continues, but... Anyway, that was pretty neat. I got a, I should show you more of my swag, actually. I'm plowing through all these things, but... I got a, let's see where it is. Here it is. I got this rare pin. This rare pin. Get it because it's rareware. Let's see what else I have here. I got this bag from Inex Inc. I don't know. I never even heard of this company, but I got a bag. I don't know. It's not that exciting. Oh, but I should. Oh yeah, I found the Star Fox patch. There it is. So there's the Star Fox patch. There's that. Let's see. Skylanders. Also, in addition to that exclusive Skylanders figure, they were also giving out the hypest of hype swag. It's a air freshener. Yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. Let's see, what else? Let's see. Nintendo had a thing going on. I should have talked about this back when I was in the Nintendo pictures. Nintendo had a thing going on where, for most of their games, if you played their games, they had this little thing that you could do. And you could try to collect... Whoops. You could try to collect pins for playing each of their demos. And so you play the demo and you get a pin. I have another pin here also. There's like one of them. They're all Mario themed, like 8-bit Mario Maker themed pins. But you could try to collect them all. You don't really get anything for collecting them all, you just have them all then. But that was a thing you could do. Some of them you had to actually win the game though. So like for the multiplayer ones, Mario Tennis, you had to win your match of Mario Tennis to get the pin. And I actually played it 3 times, and I lost every single time, and I only got the pin because the guy who beat me the last time gave me his pin. But yeah, I was terrible at Mario Tennis, unfortunately. And they also had Smash Brothers. To get one of the pins you had to win, or at least, yeah, I think you had to get first or second in a 4-player game of Smash. But I got first, so that was easy. Easy pin, sort of. There were some good people though. So there was Nintendo's thing. Oh yeah, Nintendo also had, so for most of their games they had those pins, but for Yoshi's Woolly World they had these little cute little patches of... I'm really bad at figuring out my webcam, as you can see. Just do one at a time. We got Poochie, totes adorbs Poochie, and we got Yoshi, Yarn Yoshi. They had all of the amiibo on display also, especially for the Yoshi's Woolly World demos. They had, the attendants would take out Yarn Yoshi amiibos and scan them in for you, and they were like the cutest thing I've ever seen. I pretty much have to have one. So anyway, yeah, that was pretty much what Nintendo had to offer. I mean, the pins are pretty cheap, but I don't know. When you're there, you feel like you gotta collect everything. even though it's not possible. They even had all the amiibo that aren't out yet set up, like all of them. So here's the Chibi Robo one. That's coming out with Chibi Robo Ziplash, I think it's called. They had a demo of that also, which is pretty fun. But yeah, all the Animal Crossing amiibo. In the back you can see the upcoming Smash Brothers ones with the Mii Fighters. I guess Ganondorf and Zero Suit Samus are probably already out in Japan, but Falco I don't think is out yet. And they had the other ones over on the left. But yeah, they all look really nice. There's the Woolly World Yarn Yoshi amiibo. I want the blue one, so that's the one I got a picture of. I should show you, I actually have, this is sort of unrelated, let me get it quick though. I just want to show you this. Alright, so this is unrelated, but it reminded me of these. These I got when Yoshi's Story came out on N64. I picked up Yoshi's Story on day one, and this is my gift. I think I got it at like Boscov. No, Sears? Probably Sears. I think they used to sell games at Sears. So I got Yoshi's Story the morning it came out from Sears, and this is what my gift was. I don't think it's not quite as cute as Yarn Yoshi, but I got this. And I actually got two of them because my sister was there with me, and they were super nice. I don't think that'll happen whenever Woolly World comes out in America, but yeah, just thought I'd show those off. Anyway, back to E3. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this was by the dancing stage thing. I just thought this was a kind of funny sign, so I took a picture. Yep. There's me coming off the dancing stage with that girl. I think she liked me, though. I don't know, but I think she liked me. Alright, so these people, I don't know, they said they were for, like, some snowboarding site or something. What were they called? Aaron Style or something like that. I never heard of him. But this guy, like, I came out to go to the bathroom, and this guy just, like, appeared and started interviewing me, sort of. But I couldn't tell if he was serious, so, like, I wasn't being serious back. So he just was asking me stuff, like, oh, how's E3? And then he started just talking about random stuff that had nothing to do with anything. So then I was just, like, making random crap up, too. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm making this snowboarding game where you play as a bear or a shark or something that snowboards, and what do you think about that? And I was like, it sounds great, but I think the shark should have bear arms and should shoot machine guns as he slides down the hill and whatever. And so, like, I didn't even realize he was seriously interviewing me. I didn't see the cameraman until, like, halfway through. But yeah, I couldn't even find the guy's site. I don't know if he used the video or not. So Gear VR, I tried that. I didn't try besides the Rabbids thing, I didn't actually try the actual Oculus Rift, but I tried Gear VR, which uses like a Samsung phone. I don't know which version of the phone, but some sort of Samsung device fits in there, and you use that as the screen. And I guess the games run off of that too. So I had pretty low hopes for it, but it was actually really cool. I mean, it works basically as well as any other VR thing, except that the phones can't run as graphically intensive games, but you can look around with it and everything, and you could spin completely around. I didn't even realize it at the time, but the chairs spin completely around, so you can do that for some games. I did like a flight kind of game where you aim your plane by like tilting your head. You go like this. Excuse me. The headset also, you could sort of see it there. It has a touchpad on the side, so you can use the touchpad. And there's also a button, but it also has a controller. So I mostly use the controller, because it's kind of awkward to do things with the touchpad, but you can. So the one was flying around like this, and shooting things. And there's another one where you're sitting in like this jetpack chair, and you fly around in the jetpack chair, and that was kind of cool, I guess. And then the other one I played was like a hack and slash RPG kind of thing. And it's like a top-down RPG, but that was also... Like, even though you wouldn't expect to do that with VR, it was actually pretty cool because you could look around. It was almost like looking at a board game kind of thing, because you could look at it from different angles, and it looked like it was right in front of you. Like, it just totally filled your vision, and I don't know. It was really cool. Like, VR was definitely the highlight of my trip, because that was my first time trying VR. Well, not Gear VR exactly. Morpheus was actually my first thing, but it was just really awesome. Like, it felt like I felt playing N64 for the first time. Like, blew me away. I wanted to try everything in virtual reality after this. Like, I think rather than getting a new console, I'll probably get Oculus Rift next year or sometime. I don't know. It's so cool. Yeah, that's me acting impressed. I mean, I was impressed, but I don't usually do that when I'm impressed. I do that when I'm being silly. This was a game. This game was for 3DS, and it sort of seems to be like Rune Factory. I went here because there was no line whatsoever, so I just walked up and played it. And this game, like I said, pretty much like Rune Factory, I think. You can do farming, but you can also do RPG stuff. There's turn-based battles, but the battles are like I mean, it's turn-based, but you can also move. So, kind of picture Fire Emblem almost, where you have like a certain range of movement per turn, and then like your attack can hit certain people within range. But anyway, the battle system seemed pretty cool, and in general, it seems like it'll be a pretty decent game. I didn't play it too much, but if you like that sort of thing, definitely keep an eye out for it. Interestingly, it was like half translated, so random stuff would be in Japanese and random stuff would be in English. And it had Japanese voice acting. They said they were going to do English voice acting also, but they didn't know if it was going to be dual audio yet or not. I actually asked here if they had jobs for translating also, but they said they didn't have any openings. This was through, what was this, Xseed or something? I forget what the company was. Marvelous and Xseed? I don't remember. I think that's what it was, though. This was at the same area, though. This also didn't have anybody playing the demo, but I think this might already be out in Japan, so it's not really that exciting. But basically, it's a bunch of giant insects attacking cities, and you just shoot them. It's pretty straightforward, pretty mindless. I wasn't really that impressed, but it's alright. It's pretty much all there was to it. If you like giant insects, or if you really don't like giant insects, this is the game for you. Let's see what else there is. More Nintendo stuff. Nintendo's Treehouse streaming area was set up over there, like in plain sight of everybody. They also had this stage, let's see, that's something else entirely. I don't know if I took a picture of it, but I had a video of it somewhere else. But they had a stage, Nintendo had a stage set up, where they had like different events going on, so they'd show off Super Mario Maker and have people design levels or play levels on stage. They also had, what is his name? Charles Martinet or something like that. Whatever, the voice actor of the Mario series characters. They had him every day up on stage at a certain time, and he would do his Mario voices, and then they would call people up to do Mario voices with him. And then whoever got called up on stage, basically... Yeah, there is so much going on. Seriously, there's not enough time to do everything at E3. Like, it's overwhelming how much stuff is going on. Like, I wish I took a video inside the halls, because they're enormous. Like, you don't realize how big this place is. But, yeah, so then the people that got called up to do these things, like, there are also trivia contests up there, and the doing Mario impressions. The people that got called up on the Nintendo stage got these limited edition, like, gold Mario 30th anniversary pins, which are selling for like over $100 on eBay. Which I really wanted to get one of those, but I didn't want to like wait in front of the stage with just the chance of being called up, so I didn't really bother with that, but that was pretty cool. So I did see the voice actor of Mario there. And that reminds me, I actually also saw on the first day before I even went into E3, like before I went into the any of the show floors, Reggie actually walked past me. I was talking with some other person. Reggie was walking up from behind me, and the person I was talking to was like, "Oh, Reggie!" And I turned around, and there he was. Reggie just, like, walked right past me, and he was like, "Hey, guys!" And so Reggie said hey to me, sort of, or to the guy I was talking to. I got a picture of the back of his head somewhere, but that might have actually been back towards the beginning. But yeah, Reggie walked past, and then on the third day, Miyamoto actually walked past me while I was in line for HoloLens. He didn't say anything to us, but he just walked past, and I was like, "Whoa, was that Miyamoto?" And everybody was like, "What? Oh, it is!" And we all, like, yelled at him, but he just ignored us. And it looked like he was walking to check out HoloLens too, because that was the only thing in that direction, so I think that Miyamoto might have been going to jump in line for HoloLens, which was kind of an annoying thing, because basically press and celebrities could just hop in front of any line they wanted, and that made lines take a whole lot longer, especially the HoloLens line, because even though I got there, which I think I'm going to go to that next, I was staying sort of in Koreatown, but it's not relevant. So even though on the third day I rushed the HoloLens line, like, I was in front of the crowd to get into the hall, and I ran to get in line for HoloLens. And even though I did all that, it was still a 4.5 hour wait, because press could just jump to the front of the line. And it was a long demo too. It was like a half-hour long demo, because it was HoloLens and Halo 5 combined. So yeah, that took for freaking ever. But they had some stuff to do while we waited, like watch Sackboy character, or Little Big Planet and Sackboy characters walk by. There's the Sack Dog, I don't remember what he's called. Odd Dog or something, I don't know. I haven't actually played Little Big Planet 3. They had that guy. Is that Jack from Jak and Daxter? I think. I always get Jak and Daxter confused with Ratchet and Clank. I don't even know what this guy's from, but I felt like I identified with him, so I took his picture. So anyway, most of my third and final day at E3 was spent in line for HoloLens. It was super long, super slow, played 3DS for a while, talked to people. There are a lot of cool people to talk to, though. Like, in general, pretty much every line you're waiting in, you can just talk to whoever's around you, and they're a cool person with interesting things to talk about. Like, they work for some cool company, or they've been doing cool things. I don't know. So in this line, I actually met, there was this lady who was working there, like one of the people managing the line, and she was interesting because her last name was Tendix, and she said that her father's name was Richard. So basically her dad was Dick Tendix. That's 11 dicks. I just thought that was worth making a note of. Thought I should share that. So, yeah, that pretty much made it worth it. I also got, like, multiple freebies for being in that line, so that was also good. I got a Halo 5 t-shirt, I got a Halo 5 pin, I got a Halo 5 lanyard, and that's it. That's what I got. But man, that line took forever. Here we finally got to the front of the line, and they have these people in lab coats come around and measure the distance between your pupils so that they could fit the HoloLens to you better. And unfortunately, we couldn't actually take any pictures or videos inside the HoloLens and Halo 5 area. But they had it all, like, you could see this door here, they had it all set up so it was like some sort of sci-fi area, like you were inside of a ship. But basically how that worked was, they took you in groups of 10, I think, and you try on your HoloLens, you get it all situated, you, like, make sure you can see the 4 dots in the corners of your vision, and then you get up and you see down the hallway there's like this waypoint sort of hovering in midair. Like, what the HoloLens does, I don't know how familiar you are with it, but basically it's not virtual reality, it's augmented reality, so you still see everything that's in real life, but it, like, makes things appear like they're also in real life that aren't really there. So in this case it had the waypoints hovering in midair, like out of a video game where it's like, okay, walk to that spot, here's how much you have left to get there, So you walk to the waypoint, and then another one appears further down the hall, and then you walk to that one, it takes you around the corner. And then it had like a little hatch thing open in the wall, which in real life it was just a solid wall. It was just a square on the wall. But through the HoloLens, it looks like this hatch opens up, and you can look through into this hangar bay, and you can like look around and see like at different angles what the hangar looks like. So then that eventually closes, and you continue down the hall, and there's like this big briefing room, which looks like it's out of Star Wars, with like this big circular area in the middle that everybody stands around, and then the hologram comes up, which you can only see through the HoloLens. But this hologram comes up, which has like the whoever the character is that's giving you the briefing, and then it shows you a map of the level you're going to be playing in the Halo 5 demo. Shows you the map, shows you like the key locations on the map, where the boss can spawn, where the places are you have to try to capture, enemies that could appear. And so like through this whole thing you can look at it from different angles, and it looks like it's actually there even though it's not. And it has some nifty animation things with it, like lowering into the middle of the thing or like coming up out of it, and it's pretty cool. I actually had some issues though personally with the HoloLens. I don't know if mine was just not adjusted properly or if it's just because my eyesight is bad, but I like the whole time I was using the HoloLens, the bottom half of my vision was not, like the image of the HoloLens was not showing up on the bottom half of my vision. So if I wanted to like actually have it look like it was there, I had to basically tilt my head down and look out the top part for it to actually like see all of it, or back up really far so that it was all contained in the top part. But like I said, I don't know, that could have just been because it wasn't adjusted properly. I don't know, but that was my experience. I had a little bit of issues with it where I didn't have issues with other things, but I don't know. It was still cool, though. It was still cool. Let's see what else. This is actually... I'm getting towards the end of my pictures here, but this was the last like 10 minutes of the last day I did the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 demo. And the reason I did that is because I heard they had a free t-shirt. Turns out they were out of the t-shirt, but whatever. It actually turned out to be a pretty decent game. I never played those games before in my life, but basically third-person shooter, beat-em-up, team-based, protect your area kind of game. I don't know. It's pretty alright. I was surprised. I had low hopes for it, but it was not bad. Yeah, I think that's the end of my E3 pictures. So, let me go back and talk about the demos I didn't talk about. Let's see. Yeah, let's take this away, I guess. No breaks, keep working. Alright. So I had... Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also had this from the Halo demo. So this, after the briefing, after the HoloLens briefing, they're like, oh, you'll find additional information on your data chip or whatever. It's a 8 GB flash drive. Oh shoot, I just ripped it apart. I hope that doesn't matter. I was worried that was gonna happen. Shoot. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. I was like, this thing's gonna just come right off. Well, anyway, it's an 8 GB USB flash drive. That's what it is. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that was something. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention the Halo 5 demo itself, though. It was really fun. Excuse me. My teammates were alarmed, to say the least, when I told them at the front of the line, oh hey, by the way, I've only played like 20 minutes of Halo in my life. But I have played some FPS games. I'm not super good at them, but I've played some. But our team lost by like 13 points. Basically the way the demo worked was, it's 2 teams, you have to get like first to 1,000 points. You get points by getting kills, capturing key locations, killing boss enemies, and I don't know what else. Or you can instantly win the game if you capture all of the locations, which exposes the enemy core, and then destroy the enemy core. That'll instantly win you the game. So, it's actually a pretty cool mode because it combines a lot of stuff. There's computer-controlled AI enemies to destroy, which is how it starts out. You'd like have to secure your base area and just kill a bunch of AI enemies. That doesn't take very long. So you get those. The boss enemies like randomly spawn in certain locations, and that can get you back in the game if you're behind a bunch of points, because you get quite a few points by killing the boss characters. And I don't know, you just shoot, man. I don't know, it's pretty standard, but it's also a little bit different. I'm not super experienced with FPS games, like I said, so I don't really know how to compare it too well, but it was pretty fun. It also has like an upgrade system, sort of. So, I'm not much of a Call of Duty player, but I know that Call of Duty has those, like, what are they called? Whatever. You get benefits, basically, based on how you play. You, like, level up online. Your profile levels up, you get benefits for playing more, which, in my mind, always seems like bad game design. Like, I think everybody should have equal opportunity to win, regardless of whether they just turned on the game for the first time or not. It should just be skill-based, and not based on, like, how long you've been playing. So, I like the way that Halo 5 does it. Halo 5, rather than having your overall level, your overall rank determine what benefits you get, it's all based on that particular match. So if you're doing well in that match, you get points in that match only, and then you can use your points to get better weapons just for that match, or vehicles, or whatever. And I really like how that works out, so that is good design in my opinion. So if you like Halo, you'll probably like it. Alright, let me see what else. I'm gonna pull up my blog here and check which games I'm forgetting about. I mean, I definitely could remember them, but let's just pull this up. And why is this not working? Give me a minute. There it is. Alright, let's just bring that down. Alright. I mean, that's pretty good layout, I guess. So, I already talked about Star Fox pretty in detail. Let's just scroll down here. Triforce Heroes. Alright, Triforce Heroes. Let me stop the music now, actually. And instead I'll play some of the videos while I talk about them. So, Triforce Heroes is like... It's like, Four Swords Adventures. You're on a team, except in this case you're on a team of 3. Oh my gosh, ads. I only have ads disabled, or enabled because it's my site, but... so you play as a team of 3, and you each get different weapons. You can also choose different costumes, which will give you different benefits also. So, like, there's a bomb costume, which will give you the ability to have, like, big bombs. I forget what other things do. I don't really actually know. But, you can also stack on top of each other, pick each other up, like, 3 tall, and shoot things that way that are higher up. Or throw people across gaps. But overall, yeah, it's really fun game. It's actually fairly challenging because you all share a health bar, and so if somebody's bad, it's going to be hurting the whole team, or if you're bad, it feels even worse because you're hurting the whole team whenever you get hurt. And you have to all be making sure not to lose your health. And as you see, it has little messages go across, like so-and-so took damage. Let's climb on a totem thing here. Or like, so-and-so picked a heart up, whatever. It's actually a little bit annoying. Like, you don't need notifications all the time, but whatever. That's how it is. It's pretty obviously using the same engine as A Link Between Worlds, which there's no problem with that. That worked just fine. And yeah, it's definitely more cooperative than Four Swords Adventures is. Like, with that one, there's a lot of competing to try to get more gems than the other people. But in this one, you definitely want to work together. And it's actually hard not to hurt other people a lot of times. Like, on the demo level I played, I had the Gust Jar, which you had to use to, like, shoot people across gaps or blow bombs across gaps. But since you can't really predict what the other people are going to do, there were a lot of times where I accidentally would blow people into holes because they'd run in front of me right when I was about to do something. So it was actually challenging in that way. And one of the guys we were playing with was pretty bad too, so I mean, that also is part of it. They asked us, they're like, oh, how experienced are you with Zelda games? Because that would determine what demo level to play in. Like, we were all, oh yeah, we're good at Zelda games, we're good at Zelda games, except for this one guy. I don't know what he said, but he wasn't good at Zelda games. Anyway, yeah. So, it'll be fun to play. I recommend it. If you like Zelda games, definitely check it out. Next up, Chibi Robo Ziplash. This one is pretty standard platformer, I would say. It has the gimmick of being able to throw your cord to, like, lasso onto stuff. So you can grapple onto, like, grappleable spots. Or you can hit enemies with it, of course. You can swing it around and do, like, a little helicopter glide. And you can bounce it off walls. You can charge it up and, like, bounce it off walls and it'll destroy things. And anyway, I mean, it's nothing, like, super amazing, but I mean, it's not, like, revolutionary, but it is actually pretty fun to play. It's hard to say just from the demo whether it's going to be worth getting, but definitely don't ignore it. If you like platforming games, you'll probably like it, and it'll probably be pretty good. It looks like it has things to collect in each level, too, so there's that. It's not just, like, get to the end. There's actually things to do. But, yeah, I don't know. It'll be worth checking out. Let's see. Mario Tennis. Mario Tennis is another one. I like Mario Tennis, but I haven't actually played it too much myself. I haven't played all the games in the series to know, like, how this compares to the other ones. I do know that there's a couple new things, which are the jump hits. You could push A twice or B twice to do jump hits. And there's also Mega Mushrooms that appear seemingly at random. And if you get a Mega Mushroom, then of course you get Giant, which I think is going to happen here in a second. Hopefully, maybe somebody will get it. There, Toad got it. So being Giant means that you have a larger area that you can hit. It's easier to hit the ball, and you also hit it more powerfully. But it also, to me, the Mega Mushroom just felt like a delay of game, because it didn't really feel like you earned the mushroom. It just, like, randomly, here's a mushroom, you got one. So pretty soon the next guy will get one. There you go. Mario got one now. And then it's just, like, practically impossible to miss the ball when you're Giant. So it's just, like, you wait for it to run out, because you're never going to miss. You just mash the button, you're going to hit it forever. So, I don't know. The Mega Mushrooms kind of seem dumb to me. But overall, the game seems pretty fun. As you can see, there's little circles that appear, and if you hit the X, if you stand in the circle and hit X, it'll automatically do, like, the preferable shot, and you can do special shots that way. But you can also do extra super good shots based on the color. If you match the kind of shot you do, which is, like, either A, B, or you, like, transition between A and B, or B and A. I don't remember exactly. There were so many different shots you could do. Like, so many. Like, 3 or 4. I don't know. It seemed like a lot. But if you match the color of the circle with the type of shot, you can do a powered-up version of that shot. So there is a fair bit of, like, room for improvement in this game. Like, the skill cap seems like it'll be decently high. And you can also control the trajectory of the shot, too. So you can, like, have it go back and forth, or, like, aim for the place where the person isn't there. So, it seems like it has potential. The demo didn't have a whole lot to it. It seems like the different characters do have strengths and weaknesses, but they didn't have anything officially revealed about that yet. But if you like the game, if you like Mario Tennis, you'll probably like it. Hopefully it has more to do than the 3DS one did, which I heard had almost nothing to do. Alright, let's go on to Metroid Prime Federation Force Blast Ball. So, as you may or may not know, this game is part of a larger game, which is Metroid Prime Federation Force. And Metroid Prime Federation Force is going to be a spin-off of the Metroid Prime series. So you don't actually play as Samus, as far as I know. You play as Federation troopers, and you do co-op FPS missions, and that is the main game. And that wasn't at... You couldn't play the demo of that at E3, unfortunately, so it's hard to say how that game's actually going to be. All they had was the side game that's packaged with the game, and the side game is Blast Ball. Basically, it is soccer, 3-on-3 soccer, and you move the ball by shooting at it, and surprisingly, I actually enjoyed this game quite a bit. I actually really like this game. I don't know how much other people like it. I know people have been poo-pooing on Metroid Federation Force quite a bit because it's not the Metroid game they were hoping for, which, I mean, I agree. I would rather have a new 2D Metroid or a new actual 3D Metroid, but nevertheless, even if they're just slapping Metroid name on this to make people buy it, this seems like it'll be a pretty good game. This Blast Ball in particular seems like it'll have a fair bit of strategy involved because you can charge up your blast, or you can just shoot rapid fire, and either way you have a limited amount of energy, so like you can't just spam your gun constantly or you're gonna run out and you're gonna have to, like, so this person just got ejected. That's not from them running out of ammo, that's from either getting hit by the ball or somebody getting an item that made them pop out. But you have to save your energy. Like, you have to not just spam it all the time. So you have to actually be strategic. And the other thing is, you don't just shoot at the middle of the ball. You can hold a button to lock onto the ball, and you can strafe around it. You can also tap B to do a little dash thing around it, which most people didn't know about, but I figured out. It's basically just like Metroid Prime. That's the fastest way of movement, I think, is to dash. But you don't have to just lock onto it, but if you hold R, you can also aim with the gyro controls, which I'm fine with those. You can aim at different parts of the ball to influence which way it rolls. So, like, if you hit it on the right, it'll spin it that way. Or if you hit it on the bottom, you can chip it up. And so there's that bit of strategy also. And if you knock the ball into somebody, that damages them a whole lot. So, like, they can try to guard the goal, but if you just keep bashing it against them, it's going to break their neck for a bit. And then that'll leave them wide open, and you can knock it into their goal. There's also items you can get, like shields, boost things that make you go fast. I don't know what else. And the one last thing is that as you play, the goals get smaller, so it's harder to score the next goal, and it's first to 3. I think that's pretty much all there is. Oh, there is one last thing. Very occasionally, different kinds of balls can appear. So there's like lava balls that'll hurt you more, or rubbery balls that bounce weirdly. So that throws things into, I don't know, just makes things more interesting. Okay, next Super Mario Maker. I mean, Super Mario Maker is pretty self-explanatory. Like, I think you can understand what Super Mario Maker is all about, but in case you're not familiar with it, you make Mario levels in the theme of Mario 1, Mario 3, Super Mario World, or New Super Mario Bros. U. And you can switch between all these different themes, but it's not just like all those old games. Like, you can have a ton of sprites on screen, you can make enemies huge, you can stack enemies on top of each other. You can give Mario helmets for some reason. You can put things in games that were not normally in those games, like Ghost House. Ghost House in Houses, man, I can't even speak. ghost houses in like Mario 1 or Mario 3, or airships in Mario 1, that sort of thing. At least I think you can. And so there is new stuff. And you can have like bullet bill cannons that shoot out chain chomps or mushrooms or coins or whatever. Like, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, it's really neat. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to see. You just need to watch some videos of that. Like, it's really fun. It's straightforward, but it's fun. And you can play other people's levels, so that's great. Like, unlimited fun with Super Mario Maker. I think it'll be great. You can also scan Amiibo and have... I don't think it really makes too much difference, but it just changes your sprite, I think. So you can have, like, Amiibo-based power-ups where you can turn yourself into, like, 8-bit Link or whatever other characters and play as that. I don't know. Yoshi's Woolly World. Once again, there's probably not much point discussing this considering it's already out in Japan and Europe, I think. But it's really fun. It pretty much plays like Yoshi's Island for Super Nintendo, except it has really cute graphics, yarn-based graphics. I wasn't really a fan of Kirby's Epic Yarn just because of the game design. I mean, the graphics were cute, but the level design was just kind of boring in my opinion. But Yoshi's Woolly World definitely seems like a huge step up from that. It actually seems like it'll be really fun. And fairly challenging too, so we'll have to see. I'm sure reviews are coming out for that like already, so I don't need to talk about it too much. But yeah, that's Yoshi. Super Mario Maker is your cup of tea? Yeah, I think it's my cup of tea also. It does look really fun. I also very briefly tried Yokai Watch, which, I don't know if you've heard of Yokai Watch, but it is a super popular series in Japan lately. I don't know if it's based on an anime or if the anime is based on the game, but it's kind of similar, vaguely similar to Pokemon. It's more based in the real world, I think, but you capture these yokai, which is basically the Japanese word for ghost, spirit, monster kind of things, which they just left untranslated as yokai. And you go around, they're like living in places, and you find them, and you capture them, and I don't know what you do, you battle with them. So it definitely bears similarities to Pokemon, but it's also very different from Pokemon. But I think the same sort of people will like both games. It definitely seemed fun. I didn't play it for very long at all, but it definitely seemed like it was a nice looking game, and it played really nice also. I know one of the first things I noticed when playing it was that the running speed was super fast. Like, you can just run around town, like, so nice. And there's also, I think, if I'm remembering this right, going in and out of buildings, there's no, like, loading screen or anything. It just screen, like, instant transition of, like, oh, you're in the building, now you're out. Like, I don't know. It's a minor thing, but the presentation is just really nice in Yokai Watch. I was impressed with how nice it looked and how nice it played. Even though I didn't play much of it, it just seems like a nice game. So keep an eye out for that. You could probably find out information about that too, since it's been out in Japan for quite a while already. Let's see. Mario & Luigi Paper Jam, I didn't actually play, but I took a video. You can look at it a little bit. It seems basically just like another Mario & Luigi game with Paper Mario thrown in. There's somebody's hair. But yeah, I mean, it's basically Mario & Luigi, but now you have Paper Mario trailing behind you. I don't know. I didn't really notice anything super special about it. Mario & Luigi games are always pretty fun, so if you like them, you'll probably like this. If you don't like them, you probably won't like this. That's about all there is to it. Alright, so next page, non-Nintendo games. I didn't talk about these much. I did talk about Halo 5 already, though, so we're just going to skip over that. I also talked about Garden Warfare 2 for the most part. Rare Replay I also sort of talked about. Cuphead, though, I did not talk about. Let's talk about Cuphead. So Cuphead is for Xbox One. It's an indie game, I guess. And it has a pretty unique art style. Maybe we can skip a little bit into this, because they're just doing the demo. But basically, the art style looks like something from old style Disney, like really old Disney, like original. Here you see some of it. So, the game's claim to fame here is the animation is really, really nice, really fluid, and pretty unique. I mean, it is obviously inspired by old Disney, but it's definitely very nice animation. And it seems to be like completely about shooting stuff. Like it's a run and gun, I guess, or that stage is a shmup boss. But all of the levels in the demo were boss stages. So I'm thinking maybe that's most of the game. I don't know. This boss in particular was actually really hard because, like, it's hard to know where he's gonna shoot his next one. So like when you're dodging the explosion of the previous one, it's hard to stay out of the way for the next one. You don't have a whole lot of hit points. So this game is actually really challenging, in spite of its cute look. It's actually really hard. But it was hard to tell if it's going to be a particularly good game. Like, the level design, the boss patterns didn't seem all that unique or all that creative. The visual design, of course, is fantastic, but the, like, game design, it's hard to say. It'll probably be alright, but definitely we'll have to wait to see more when that's coming out. But definitely something to keep an eye on. So that was cool. It's a cool game. Let's see what's next. Skylander Superchargers, I already talked about that. Earth Defense Force, talked about that. Street Fighter V. Well, it's a Street Fighter game. I'm kind of a noob at Street Fighter, so I can't tell you a whole lot about it. Because, I mean, to me, Street Fighter, like, I don't know the intricacies of it to tell you, like, the difference between each version. Even though I'm sure there are differences that are significant if you're into it. Like, with Smash Brothers, I mean, I buy all the new Smash Brothers games, and they're not that different for an outside person, but if you're into it, they're totally different. So, it's probably the same way here. The graphics are obviously better. There's obviously new characters. And, PS4 exclusive to start, at least, I think, is what I remember. So here's some people playing. They're probably better than I am, but then again, how should I know? They're probably just mashing buttons. Who knows? No, they definitely look like they're better than I am. I've pretty much only played Street Fighter 4, and I never got any good at it. But yeah, that's Street Fighter 5. Basically what I wrote on the blog was, if you like Street Fighter 5, you probably already... If you like Street Fighter, you probably already know all the news there is to know about the E3 demo, so you don't need me to tell you about it. Because there's people that know more than I do. Anyway, KO. Next is Trackmania Turbo. This is one that I'm pretty sure is flying under everybody's radar, because Trackmania is not that popular outside of Europe. But I really like Trackmania. Like, I play it a heck of a lot on PC. And basically what it is, if you're not familiar with Trackmania, is you race on tracks. You basically race against your own time or against just other times. And when you play online, the goal is, like, get the fastest time you can within 5 minutes of attempts. And everybody's racing together. You can see everybody else racing alongside you, but you can't collide with them. It's just their ghost, basically. But they're doing it in real time. And you just try to get the best score you can, the best time you can within that time limit. Or, if you're playing offline, you have as much time as you want. Just you know, try short little tracks as much as you can. Try to get the best times. And the tracks are ridiculous, too. They have, like, loops and half pipes and jumps, and it's just madness. But it's all, like, very, very tight technical controls, so you have to try to do really minor adjustments, really, like, every little thing you can do to shave off, like, fractions of a second off of your time. And that's what Trackmania is all about, is improving your time by fractions of a second by being super, super precise and super technical. And I really like that, so I'm definitely hyped about Trackmania Turbo. Another big thing is that you can do custom levels, And that's how it was with the previous games too. So when you play online, it's a lot of how fast can you adapt to a track you've never played before. So, like, the guy that was demonstrating was telling me, like, a lot of times people will come over and they'll be like, oh, well, you won because you played this track a million times. But with Trackmania, maybe you'll win because you've played Trackmania and you're familiar with the physics, but a lot of times it's playing tracks that nobody's ever played before, and it's just how fast can you adjust and what's the best time you can get on that in 5 minutes or something like that. And so it's really cool. And this one's also going to have a randomly generated track option, which reminds me of F-Zero X, the X Cup. So I'm pretty excited about that also. And there's also multiple modes. Trackmania has like different kind of modes to it. With they changed the way that the physics work, kind of. So the one that I had a video of is the Stadium mode, and that has like your car has a whole lot of traction with that. So you can drift, but it's not really preferable to drift in the Stadium mode. But then in other modes, it is preferable to drift, and you drift a whole lot easier, or you flip over a whole lot easier. Like there's different modes that change the physics entirely, so that's kind of nifty. So there's going to be, I forget how many modes he said there were going to be, but I mean, I know there's going to be at least 3, but there's probably more than that. So anyway, that's Trackmania. Okay, next, Gang Beasts. This, I think, might already be out in Steam. I'm not sure. It's really silly. This is the PS4 demo. But, basically, you're these blubbery, rubbery, bright-colored beasts, and you have to grab onto each other and throw them off of the level. And that's it. It's like super simple, it's super awkward, but it's pretty funny, actually, because of the weird things that can happen. You never know what's going to happen when you're playing this. And, I mean, that's the reason I came over here, was because the people that were playing it were just cracking up, like, the whole time they were playing. Let me skip to the middle here. Like, they were just laughing the whole time. I don't know how long you can play this game before it'll get old. Like, it seems like the sort of game that's going to get old in, like, 10 minutes, but for those 10 minutes, it's pretty fun. Like, watch this. Like, I don't know, just, maybe this level's not the best, but you're just hanging off of things. Ferris wheels. You can't tell me that's not fun. And then you think you're safe, but no, the floor falls over there. It's great. It's great. You can hang on other people. That's pretty much the gist of Gang Beasts. It's on, like, it's coming to every single console, basically, so, yeah, if you want to play it, there it is. I don't know what else there is to it. I didn't really play some of the big name games because I was spending so much time with virtual reality stuff, but yeah, there's Solus Project. I don't even know what this game is. It's like a first person something, if it'll even load. It's not even loaded. There it is. There, you got like 2 seconds of it. Very, very nice there. Solus Project. Alright, we got Tom Clancy's The Division. Don't tell anyone. But there was actually a sign that said no cameras allowed in this demo booth, but I wasn't in the demo booth, so, you know, I figured I could get around that sign. You can sort of see it up in the corner here. No cameras. But I was in line for the HoloLens. I wasn't in the demo for The Division, so, you know, I took a video anyway. And, there it is. This is my illegal video footage. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for that. But, there it is. That is exclusively viewable on my blog. So, check out the blog if you want to see more. It's not the best video, but it's something. Alright, there's also Assassin's Creed Syndicate. What do we got for Assassin's Creed Syndicate? I also didn't play this, but I did watch somebody else play through the full demo for 8 minutes and 41 seconds. Man, YouTube is crapping out on me now. What is the deal? Everything was working so smoothly. I don't know. It's not working. Whatever. Basically, though, it looks like a pretty good game. It looks like Assassin's Creed, you know. It's Assassin's Creed with better graphics and a different time period, like always. That's what every new Assassin's Creed is, so that's what you get. So if you like Assassin's Creed, you'll probably like it. That's as much as I know. I'm not an Assassin's Creed master, so I don't really know the difference. Alright, let's turn this music back on. And we're nearing the end of this discussion. But I didn't talk about Morpheus yet. I think I talked about all the other... Oh, I didn't talk about Ant VR either. But Morpheus, in my mind, I think Morpheus was the winner of the VRs that I tried. Although, I mean, Oculus Rift is pretty much tied with it. Oculus Rift and Morpheus are about equal. They're both fantastic. But, so the way with Morpheus was, I got really lucky to be able to try Morpheus, because you were also, like I said with Oculus Rift, you were supposed to download this app to register for a certain time to try it. And I did not do that because it was full, like, immediately, and I didn't know you were supposed to do that. But I somehow managed to get into this line anyway. And it was the coolest thing ever. Basically, and this is my first experience with VR also. I mean, maybe I tried something at, like, Universal Studios or something a long time ago, but this was awesome. So, basically, they just put you into whatever demo they had open at the time. And in my case, it was a demo called Kitchen. And I was like, oh, Kitchen, it's going to be like a, it's going to be some kind of cooking sim, right? No. This is a horror game where you have the PS4 controller, and you don't push any buttons, you just use the motion controls, because in the simulation, you have, like your hands are tied, and so you can move your hands in the simulation by doing this. And it works pretty well for the most part. There were a couple times where, like, my hands didn't really seem like where I thought they should be, but for the most part, it was pretty good. And obviously, you can look around everywhere. But, so, the thing is, you're in this, like, really creepy rundown room. It's, like, it's definitely bad vibes. Bad things are going to happen in that kind of room. So you're stuck on this chair, you got your hands tied, there's a camera on a tripod in front of you, and to start the demo, you have to knock the tripod over by, like, moving your hands forward like that. That starts the demo. Then there's this guy that's, like, stumbling around the room. Seems sort of like a bad guy, but it turns out he's actually, like, in the same boat as you. And he comes over and he picks up a machete to help, like, try to cut your hands free. But he's, like, totally out of it and stuff, so he's having a hard time cutting them. And while he's cutting them, this creepy girl comes up in the background, like, from behind him, and it's like, oh crap, she's bad. So this creepy girl comes up, like, something out of Silent Hill or something. She comes up, grabs this guy, and drags him away screaming to the next room, like, out of sight. Like, there's this corner hallway kind of thing. And, so she drags him out. You know, bad stuff is going down. Bad stuff. And, definitely bad stuff went down, because pretty soon she tosses his head out into your room, and his head rolls in, and there you are, just, like, sitting in a chair. Your hands are still tied, and all you can do is watch this guy's head bleed out on the floor in front of you. And, the graphics are pretty nice for bleeding heads, as far as those are concerned. So then you're sitting there, listening to the creepy sounds and looking around the room, wondering when is this girl going to come back and kill you too. And as you probably could guess, she comes from behind. All of a sudden, these bloody hands appear over your eyes, and are all like, guess who? And she doesn't actually say guess who, but, you know, like that. And then she comes out in front of you and has the bloody machete now, and is, like, waving it in your face, and it's pretty creepy. Like, very convincing, very, very immersive. It fills your entire vision. The only issues I had were my glasses felt pretty pressed up against my face, and if I really focused on it, I could see the texture of the screen of the inside of the headset. But, like, I had to actually try to look at it to see that. And it was also a little bit blurry, but I'm not sure if that was part of the, like, atmosphere of the game, or if that's how it is for all of Morpheus stuff. Or it could have just come in because I didn't have it adjusted quite perfectly, but otherwise, it looked really, really nice. It was really convincing. I wanted to close my eyes at points because it felt like I was going to get stabbed in the face. And that's basically how the demo ends, is she lunges at you with the knife, and then it ends, and that's it. But, man, I was blown away. Like, after trying that demo, I wanted to hop right back in line and try another one, because it was the coolest thing ever. Like, the coolest thing since the transition from 2D to 3D gaming was virtual reality for me. Like, absolutely, I loved it. I want to try everything in VR now. I can't get enough. I want to try so much. So as soon as Oculus Rift is out public, I'm very seriously considering getting one if the price is right. I mean, I would consider Morpheus also, but I think you have to have a PS4 also, and I don't have a PS4, so I don't think it would be quite worth it for me to get a PS4 and Morpheus. But it's definitely really awesome. Super highly recommend it. And yeah, that was pretty much my experience with E3. I'm trying to think if I had anything else happen that's worth mentioning. I know I mentioned that I saw Reggie and Miyamoto. Somebody said that they saw Steven Spielberg walking into the HoloLens demo also, but I don't actually know what he looks like, and I didn't really see him, so I guess that doesn't count. But that's pretty much it. It's really big, really tiring, but it is really fun. Definitely a cool thing to be able to go to. Definitely, I recommend it. But it is for people in the industry, so it's not all fun and games. I mean, it is all games, but it's also a lot of people that are there doing research for their company. Like at that Rabbids demo, the Rabbids VR demo, I was in line with somebody who worked for Disney World or Disneyland or whatever it is, and he was looking into the technology they had for the moving chair that they used in that demo. So that's why he was there. So it's not like everybody's going there just to have fun and play games. Like, people are going there to play games, but it's actually really stressful and really tiring because you stand so long. It's long days of just standing and playing video games, and you gotta, like, keep track of everything you do, and if you're for the press, you gotta write down impressions for all the games. And I mean, I wrote down impressions for all the games, but I didn't even play all the big ones, and I had pretty short paragraphs, so I mean, it's a lot of work. Going to E3 is a lot of work. But it's also a lot of fun, and you get a lot of free stuff. I don't know if I have... Oh yeah, I have a couple other free things. Random free things to show off. I don't know if this will even show up on camera. Yeah, you can see it. An Oculus t-shirt. Pretty straightforward, just says Oculus on it. That's all there is to it. Let's see, there's also... I got this little guy at that Story of Seasons... The Story of Seasons demo that had no weight. This is like instant plushie. It's pretty cute. Let's see. I didn't show this earlier, but whenever I got the Mexican Runner's autograph, I also got Mr. Blarney's autograph, who also was at... I got it twice in 2 different versions. Collect all 2. He was also in the Nintendo World Championships. Let's see. There was also, interestingly enough, this place set up called Game Church. Jesus Loves Gamers. They had this great poster of Jesus, I guess. I mean, not that this is what Jesus looked like necessarily, but I thought it was pretty epic. So, Jesus Loves Gamers was actually some sort of outreach group that is basically telling gamers about Jesus and the Bible and all that sort of thing. So that was pretty cool. I got a little lanyard from them, GameChurch.com. So if you're into that thing, check it out. They had a pretty cool pamphlet too. Like, in order to get the, I don't know, where did that go? I don't know where I put it now. They had, like, in order to get the poster and the lanyard, you had to get one of their booklets, which basically had, like, the Gospel of John in it, and it had an introduction. But the introduction was pretty good, actually. It, like, really, like, targeted towards gamers, but not in a cheesy way, like most things are. Because it's actually written by gamers, so it wasn't super cheesy. It was actually really good. So, if you're interested in that sort of thing, check it out, GameChurch.com. That was one of the last things I did at E3, so I think that means I'm basically done with all that stuff. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I guess if nobody has any questions, I think I'll end the discussion with that. I don't have any plans necessarily of going back next year because it was pretty lucky that I got to go this year, but if I have the opportunity, maybe I'll go again. It's definitely an experience, and I would like to go again. I would hope to get more sleep ahead of time next time, but definitely very cool. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will be highlighting this and putting this on YouTube so you can watch it later if you missed it. And I will see you later. Stay tuned to Linkums on Twitch and Linkums on YouTube and What They Call Games on Blogspot for all kinds of gaming news. And like I have on screen right now, I have all of my E3 impressions written up on What They Call Games. I might also write a fourth post about the experience in general and about all the conversation I had with the Mexican Runner and Mr. Blarney about Nintendo World Championships, but we'll see if I get to that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you later. Goodbye, everybody.